Hi Pisces, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your December 12th, 2021 reading for you. Now I ask if this reading resonates with you, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will be listed and linked in the description box below. Now before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds, letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. Let's let the bowls sing as we see what the tarot has to say. Pisces, December 12th, 2021, Pisces. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels. At the bottom is our rooted self. The left-hand side is our inner self. The middle, our heart, our emotional self. The right-hand side, the public arena, the public self. So let's see what the cards have to say. We have the Star, which is Aquarius energy coming forward, and we have Justice, which is Libra energy. Very air sign energy at our root right here, so thoughts and ideas and words are going to be so powerful for us on this day. So if we have Aquarius energy within our natal chart, or we're born on the cusp of Aquarius, this is going to come out very powerfully during this time. Also, Libra energy. If we have Libra energy within our natal chart, it's going to come forward very powerfully for us during this time. Also, Aquariuses and Libras are going to affect us more on this day. They're going to kind of rattle our foundation, so just be aware of that. Then we have Judgment and the Three of Pentacles. The Lovers, the Star, and the Moon. I love that. I just love the sentence, the Lovers, the Star, and the Moon. It sounds like it's the beginning of a story or a title of a book. So here we have the Lovers, which is Gemini energy, Aquarius energy, again with the Star, amplified here. We have it now twice. And we have the Moon, and it is us, Pisces. The very essence of ourselves is coming forward during this time, and it's affecting our hearts. It's giving us wings. And so if we have Gemini energy within our natal chart, if we have Aquarius energy, again, within our natal chart, it affects us emotionally. Geminis and Aquariuses and other Pisces also are going to be affecting us more emotionally than we realize. So be aware of that during this time. The very essence of ourselves is coming forward with the Moon. It represents the essence of us. It represents us in the major arcana. And that's going to be very powerful here during this time, our hearts. Excuse me. Oh, I'm so sorry. As I sneeze. Okay. I do apologize for that. Then we have the Chariot, which is Cancer energy, and we have the Four of Cups. I love that we only have two minor arcana cards here during this time. The 12th of December is going to be a very powerful time for us. So again, if we have Cancer within our natal charts, this comes through very powerfully here within our public arena self. or within the public world. Also, Cancers during this time are going to affect us in the public arena more than we realize. So be aware of that. Then we have our energy to be mindful of. Angels and spirit guides show me clearly. This is the Prince of Wands, fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. This is a person who charges forward without thinking. This is a person who can be so gosh darn charming that we don't care that they don't think it through. We're like, wow, I want to, be doing whatever that person's doing. Or wow, that sounds like such a great idea. Is it going to be? No, it's really not. And if this person wasn't so darn charming, we wouldn't have thought it was to begin with. So just be mindful of this energy. Yeah. Definitely. Okay, so let's look at our chakra energy. Angels and spirit guides show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels. Holistic health. Now, this is one of my absolute favorite cards. Holistic health is our health. This is the root chakra. So at the root of us is taking care of us, which sounds so absolutely obvious, but just isn't. So here with the root chakra, we're needing to connect with our own well-being, with our own self-care. This is, taking our vitamins. This is getting enough sleep. This is, exercising. This is also listening to our bodies dietarily and saying, okay, what food makes me feel good? What food doesn't make me feel good? Do I need to cut back on the caffeine? It's asking ourselves questions like this. Am I drinking enough water? These are going to be really important for us, not only during this time, but within our lives. And this is also, seeing what works for us. We might be taking our vitamins, right? But swallowing the pill, and we might not have really good digestion, so we need to take sublingual vitamins that dissolve under the tongue or within the mouth, however we decide to take it. So this is really looking at ourselves. This is looking at what we need. And this is also, embracing holistic practices. This can be acupuncture. This could be, yoga. This could be a myriad of other things traditional Indian medicine that have us looking at our well-being through a different eye than just Western medicine. So this is going to be powerful for us during this time, tuning in and checking in with us. It moves us to the star. It moves us to our root and to the fact that we're looking at the blessings that are a part of us, the wishes that we have made within our lives. We're also looking at our dreams in a very real way. And of course, I'm getting ahead of myself right here. So let's talk about the 12th of December. Astrologically speaking, the sun is squared Neptune. Now, this is more important for us than it is for almost anybody else, except for Leo, because Leo is represented by the sun, is ruled by the sun in astrology, and we here, Pisces, are ruled by Neptune. So that's powerful for us. The sun is squared Neptune, and this creates a battle over our fears, over our perceived weaknesses. And what we're going to see here is that we're astoundingly caring, we're astoundingly sensitive on this day, and we're looking at ourselves in a very raw, very real way, and we're going to think, oh, well, I just can't. I just can't. Like, this is just too much. I don't want this anymore. And what this time brings to us as an angel number is 1212. It brings to us to be ready to move forward. It's telling us it's time to be ready to move forward, to remember to believe in ourselves and to create balance within our lives, to appreciate and invest in meaningful relationships. The clabber chatter of the world, the meaningless, contacts, that's not what we're about this time. We want things to be deep. We want things to be meaningful. We need to keep the peace within our lives, the harmony within our lives. We need to step out of our comfort zone, and we need to step into our dreams, focusing on what we have dreamt of, what we desire, and these dreams begin to manifest themselves within the waking world. And this brings us to the place where this isn't our cross our fingers, I wish for, XYZ that I can, obtain materialistically. This is the dream of the heart and the soul. This is the dream that is seen within the very essence of ourselves. This is a time where we look at our energy vibration. We look at the fact that we are energy. And we look at, am I base energy? Am I running off of survival mode? Or am I raising my energy up, connecting with my heart and my soul and my passion and myself? Do I even know how to do that? That's why we're looking at the holistic self, the root chakra. That's going to be so important. Am I connecting? Am I here? Am I connecting with the earth? It's like wearing earth shoes, or not earth shoes, but what are they called? Barefoot shoes. And connecting with the earth, being able to, feel the earth beneath our feet and connect with that energy. It's not saying to use barefoot shoes to go running in, because that can be dangerous, if we haven't dropped our Achilles and done all that stuff. But here, it's connecting And that connection is going to be so important. Sometimes, Pisces, we forget how powerful connection is. We're water sign energy. We're the water that flows through the earth, that nourishes each and every creature. We're also the water that flows through the veins of human beings, the ocean that lives inside of each and every one of us. This is a time where we're looking at our dreams, where we're looking at what we greatly want. We're connecting more and more with ourselves, and that brings us to justice. That brings us to needing to cut away the energy that just isn't a part of us anymore. And this is being just to ourselves. It's being discerning with the energy that we let into our lives, and it's being discerning with the energy that we release into the world. It's saying, I matter, and I get to choose how I embrace my life, my soul, and myself. And it brings us to judgment. It brings us to looking at the box that we've been put in, to looking at the way that we thought we were supposed to be moving forward. In the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, it's people literally rising out of their coffins. Now, this could be the last days or the days of reckoning or whatever, if we want to see it that way. But here it says forgiveness. It's forgiving ourselves for saying, I have to be like this. It's forgiving ourselves from losing track of what our souls deeply want, to be able to just do what we were expected to do, or to propel forward in the way that we thought we were supposed to be walking. Now we're seeing ourselves rise out of the box of doubt and fear and into the place of listening to our angels call us, or listening to ourselves, embracing our souls, seeing ourselves in a way more than just, a postable, image. Now we are connecting. Now we are embracing. Now we are embodying. And we rise out. We rise out of darkness. And it brings us to the Three of Pentacles. This is recognition. This is needing recognition within our world. But this is also the recognition of the hard work and the dedication put into everything that we do. This is also a sense of honoring the journey that we're on. Honoring the child, the adult, and the wisdom that we become. Honoring the maiden, mother, crone, but said it in a way that encompasses all. What we are doing here is we're honoring our journey, the wealth and the knowledge, the seeds that are planted for ourselves because of what we desire. And it brings us to the lovers. It brings us to our hearts wanting to fall back in love with life, wanting to have the passion and have the beauty come forward. It brings us to a place of joy and of laughter. It brings us to a place of sorrow and of pain. Our angels watch over us. The world watches over us. There's something bigger than us that moves forward here. And as we embrace that and as we see that, we embrace and we see ourselves. We move forward with the sacred feminine energy and the sacred masculine energy. We move forward with the idea of what we desire and what we want and what we need and who we are. We start to see ourselves. We start to embrace passion within our lives. We start to embrace sensuality of being and soul and self. We start to become. And as we become, we let our dreams fly out into the world. This is the exact moment when we talk about Branwen. This is in Welsh mythology. This is the myth that is shown. And she is letting the bird fly out into the sky. And the bird, she taught it how to speak. And so here, it's that exact moment where all your hopes and dreams are released into the universe. It's that exact moment where we teach our dreams to have wings. We do something that people said was impossible. We start to shine. And we let that shining guide us forward. We let that brilliance, move us to so much more than we expected. This is a time where we realize there's more here than meets the eye, where we connect with ourselves fully and passionately and brilliantly, and it brings us to us. Now, the thing we have to be mindful of is that fear can be a part of our lives and is a part of our lives, Pisces. We tend to look at the shadows and think, I don't really know what's there and I'm not going to find out. But if we are brave, we look at the shadows more. We look at the things that we have assumed are scary and overwhelming and can't possibly, be what we need them to be. But then we start to see that the monster isn't a monster. It's a tree blowing in the wind. We see that the scurrying isn't something terrible coming at us. It's a squirrel. We start to look, we start to hear, we start to see, we start to connect more than just our eyes. And that's important because we as human beings evolved as sight hunters. That's why sight is so important to us. It's the first thing that, really opens up on a human being. Our eyes open and we are introduced to the world. With a dog, their nose opens and they are introduced to the world. Eyes are actually the last thing that develop for them. So here, and scent is the last thing that develops for us. So here, there is just this real sense of, I'm connecting with the world. I'm connecting with what I'm seeing. But I'm not letting what I see become the only thing that I know. And that's going to be important for us, Pisces. Because one of the keys to us succeeding and achieving and pushing the barriers and really being what we want to be is the fact that we don't always have to go by what is seen right in front of us. We're going to embrace more of our senses, but also embrace this innate intuition, this innate realization that we have. And that's going to be really important for us. This is a time where we find ourselves soaring, where we find ourselves spreading our wings and saying there's more here than meets the eye. And as we do, the chariot guides us. It's the subconscious and conscious self moving us forward. It's being connected in the waking world. It's being connected to what we want. It's being connected to what we need to see. It's being connected to who we are. And this becomes the game changer. And as we're embracing this power, these insights, these ideas, we're embracing ourselves. We're looking at us so much more powerfully than we ever had before. We're also looking at the power of our hearts, the power of our emotions, which, Pisces, we can really think we feel too much. We see too much. And if we're alone with our thoughts, it won't be good. But what Spirit is saying here is, if we're alone with our thoughts, we can find ourselves seeing connections that we hadn't seen before, becoming more aware. And as we become more aware, it's not like, oh my gosh, I become more aware and I have more burdens on my shoulders. It's like, I become more aware and there's power and determination to me. I see what others can't. And it brings us to the Four of Cups. It brings us to God, Source, Spirit, however you see the divine, the universe, tapping us on the shoulder and saying, don't forget this gift. Don't be so focused on looking in this one direction that you forget the real gift that comes over, because it doesn't look like a gift. It doesn't feel like a gift. It feels like more work. It feels like more time and effort needed. This is a time where we are embracing our emotions and our hearts and ourselves, and we need to let ourselves shine. We need to see more than what's right in front of us, and we're going to be surprised. Our subconscious energy to be mindful of is the Lord. Why? Because we don't like being told what to do. Because this energy goes against what we want. This is a person saying it has to be like this. This fire energy is just going to want to eat us up. And what we need to say is, it doesn't have to be like that. It can be so much more than you ever expected. Why is this rigidity winning? And it brings us to our subconscious chakra energy, which is self-mastery. This is the solar plexus chakra. This is a sense of seeing ourselves, like fully seeing who we are, letting the energy flow through us, connecting with the earth, connecting with ourselves, saying, maybe I need to step out of, what this world is supposed to be. Maybe I need to step into what I'm supposed to be and see how I get to manifest that prosperity and that bounty within my own life. It brings us to our subconscious rooted self. And that's Chariot coming forward. That's the fierceness of the heart coming forward. Our subconscious inner self is the Ten of Swords. Here it says completion. There we go. But it's coming to a realization. Okay, we've completed a cycle. Yes, that's what 10 means. But it's also the sense of, I've been wounded so many times. Over a decade, I've been wounded with so many different ways of seeing things, or so many different betrayals within my life. And those swords that were left within me, because remember, in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, the swords are left in this person as they lay prone on the ground. It's overkill. But what we're seeing is that we are given knowledge and wisdom that we never would have been given if it wasn't for the suffering, if it wasn't for the pain. And I know that sounds stupid at times, where it's like, okay, you never would have learned this if you hadn't suffered. But there's power and truth to that. We're going to have to look at what we want. We're going to have to see ourselves with openness and with honesty. And the Ten of Swords is the fact that we've been armed because we've fallen so many times in our own existence. And now that knowledge that should have broken us, well, this is the darkness before the dawn, is bringing us an awakening and a realization that kind of takes our breath away. It moves us to our subconscious emotional self. And that's the Nine of Pentacles. Embracing the prosperity of now. Embracing the bounty of who we are. It's saying, yeah, there's a lot of hard work to come. And don't worry, there will still be more work to come after that. But it's time to celebrate the victories. It's time to celebrate a harvest well planted. Not looking at the bigger picture, getting caught up in what has to be next, or, oh, what about this and what about that. It's standing in the moment and saying, well done. It brings us to our subconscious public arena self. And that's the Ten of Cups. And they all live happily ever after. The Ten of Cups is embracing our own happiness, however that manifests within our lives. Whether that's a traditional family with kids, or whether that's, traveling the world and discovering new things. Happiness is profoundly personal. We tend to use it as a catch-all phrase and say, oh, just be happy. But what if my happiness looks quite different than your happiness? Embrace your passion. Embrace your love. Embrace what makes your heart sing. Subconsciously, during this time, our dreams are being called forward, and we're being told it matters to be in love with our lives. All right, Pisces. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I'm sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy, as we embrace the power and the intensity of this time. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Pisces.